He lived in the 7th Ward, and I lived in the 7th Ward. And, I needed him to come pick me up this day. So he picked me up, and I'm riding with him. We went by his house, and then we left his house to go to the studio. And we riding, and he talking to me. He's in deep conversation, how he about to take over the world. And Heavy, man, I'm telling you, man, I'm about to do this, blah, blah. Then in the middle of this conversation, he just stopped the car in the middle of the road and threw it in park and busted the door open and jumped out the car. And I'm confused as hell because I don't even know what happened. Then I realized it's a chick walking down the street that's fine as hell. Dude stopped the car in the middle of the street, put it in park in the middle of traffic, and hopped out. And got right up on her like he knew her all his life. He said, hey, baby, what's happening? She wasn't even mad. She was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? He got into it, got a number and everything, and looked at her and said, I'm going to call you later. Hopped back in the car and got right back in the middle of the conversation with them. The Slim and BG, they were like one and the same, man. They moved together, you know what I'm saying? Like they was like brothers, you know what I'm saying? I think, I feel like, you know, they was planning all of their moves together at that point, you know. And I worked with both of them. And to be honest, like my relationship with BG was because of Slim. You know, I was working with Slim on his stuff. And Slim always would hook me up with people that he knew wanted music. You know, he'd always big me up. You know, he always bought me business. And at the time, my BG's misfortune with another studio was my good fortune, because BG was working at a festival, and at the time, you know, BG had his, you know, he had some issues, and they did not want him doing those issues at their spot, and it was a mishap over there. He got kicked out the studio, and so he was looking for another place to record, and so Slim brought him over to me to the studio I had in the 7th Ward with my partner Jazz. And yeah, the rest is history, man. He came over there and started recording, which gave me an opportunity to let him hear some of my work, and he liked it, and we started working. And from that point, I kind of ended up being like, you know, the inside person at Chopper City Records as it got developed. And so my relationship with him was professional, man. And I say he was definitely a hard worker. He never came in there.
How was he accepted at No Limit? I mean, how was he looked at? He looked like the one, because the way they put it out there, it was marketed kind of like he was going to carry him. Like he said, I was the new Pac to Death Row.
Yeah, you know, he had, you know, a reputation of being a bit of a loose cannon. You know what I mean? As far as, you know, not necessarily rolling with everything the way everybody planned it, and kind of wanting to do things on his own terms. From what I witnessed, you know, he pretty much was just about his business. Again, like I said, like when it was time to work on the record, he was doing songs every day. Like he would always record more music than was required. You know what I'm saying, to pick out. Like he was very prolific, you know what I'm saying, as far as his work ethic. Gotcha. So I mean, that's probably why it was so many people like scrambling around to get their hands on whatever music he had left when he passed, because they knew how much music he recorded. Like he just was recording all the time. So it's like I can't really comment on, you know, whatever other activities he might have been involved in outside of music, but I just know like his work ethic in the studio was crazy.
But I know he went in, and being in that Magnolia, pretty much everybody that
everybody
came from
out
Magnolia
of his neighborhood went to Cash Money. You know, he could have easily went there. You know what I'm saying?
What about that? I mean, you have any knowledge on that?
Circumstantial, just about him being in and out of jail and not being around at certain times when things was popping off with Cash Money, and his relationship with KL.
Okay.
Gotcha. You know, him being with KL, you know, he went with where KL went.
And at the time, that was a better launching for his situation anyway.
Right.
He was running the world.
Right. It was a little earlier. But yeah, it could have went either way. Like I said, he got lifelong relationships with Juvenile and with BG. Him and BG, you know, each other since first grade. You know what I'm saying? So that could have went either way, you know. And I was working at the time with Mia X on her Sister Stories record with No Limit, which that ended up seeing a bitter demise as well. That's a whole nother story. You know, No Limit had a deal with Universal at the time, and they lost their deal before that record got released.
Damn.
You
that would have been deployed out there. I mean,
oh man, I went through hell that year. Yeah, I went through at least a 6-month long depression. You know what I'm saying, after, because it was like I had so much dangled in my face. You know what I'm saying, about the success I was about to see. and then it just all just was like,
Man,
you know what I'm saying, at the
snatched
same time. Not to mention C Murder going to jail for life. You know, Mac going to jail for 40 years. Mac was actually my entrance into the game, you know what I'm saying? He put me on, you know. He was the first like on artist to believe in me as a producer. So he introduced me to No Limit, and then like shortly after, you know, he got in that trouble.